Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm on the test server. We're testing out the new WIXWELL. Is he nerfed into the ground? First thing I'm going to say is I've just run my standard clan boss team that I run every single day, and I have done since WIXWELL was built, and I've got basically the exact same numbers out of my team. Let's be clear, my team is going to be a stronger team than the average team, but it did still hit turn limit, and we still hit the sort of full max damage numbers. And let me just see, I'm going to show you a rerun of my budget team in this video. So we're going to see if he is wrecked for like the budget players. But just wanted to see if I got anyone in a shield set here. I don't think that I do. No, I don't. So the question I had in my head was, do you need double shields now to make WIXWELL work on a standard team? And the answer is, if it's a good team, no, you do not. But for this video, we're going to check out the budget teams. Do you need to like max out a lot more stats to make this stuff work? Right then, I have rebuilt the budget Infinity team that I produced. How long ago was this? 4 months ago, when I was going through all those kind of like WIXWELL builds. That team relied on Apothecary giving us some speed, WIXWELL doing all of the shield extension stuff, and then other buff extenders in the mix. It was a relatively low lift team to get yourself one key in Ultra Nightmare. I had this speed tune comp, which I'd pulled together for it as well. So you could see everyone's getting a couple of hits in per clan boss turn. All of the speeds were in here, so I was able to just copy it back. And on that one, I've basically copied the sets that people were wearing as well. Now, if we look at the result in this video, a quick run, which basically allowed me to hit turn limit. Man, come on. 109 million, and I hit the turn limit on that quick run. So we've rebuilt the squad. WIXWELL in reflex gear, running at 247 speed. They're the main things. People ask, why have you got no accessories on here? Just because my Great Hall is really like developed. So you can achieve these stats using accessories. I'm not saying don't use them. You should use them. I'm literally just showing like a budget version of builds, and therefore I take accessories out of the mix. We've got War Master on here, masteries with Law of Steel and Cycle of Magic to reuse abilities as much as we can. He is fully booked and all that type of stuff. I've then got Feign. This could be any damage dealer. Anyone who's going to deliver a decent amount of damage can be your Feign here. Again, just got to the right speed. So 201 speed, basically crit cap because I've got Anchorite in the team, and I focused on damage. We've got Anchorite in a shield set. Again, this is what I did last time. So shield set plus the WIXWELL shield, both shields being extended. That's how you hit the turn limit, or that's how we used to. Let's see if we still do. 248 speed on my Anchorite. Again, we just got War Master as our main mastery. Apothecary, just got Giant Slayer in as the mastery here. Fastest, I think, 268 speed. Just basically allowing that 2-for-1 speed tune to be kicking in. And then the last one I've got here is Hellborn Sprite in reflex gear, running at 215 speed. The speeds are the more important thing versus the other stats. Your damage dealer does need to be able to pack a bit of a punch. This is the squad. The idea here is WIXWELL puts on, well, basically all of them put on buffs, and you've got Anchorite, WIXWELL, and Hellborn. They're all people that do buff extension, increase the duration of ally buffs, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. Anybody else in the game that can do that is capable of being replaced by these, okay? Obviously, WIXWELL needs to be in. So WIXWELL does it on this skill here. Increase the value of... so he does the shield increase and increases ally buffs, yeah? So that's why WIXWELL's been so good. So we get into clan boss. Let me just think about affinity here. As flicked into a different affinity, which means the clan boss is going to target WIXWELL. No, he's not, sorry. It's going to target anyone else. So I'll do quick battle first, actually. I'll show you the damage on a quick battle. So firstly, do we hit turn limit? And do we still one key with this budget team? They're the two questions. So we did not hit turn limit, and we did not one key. 44 mil. Is that just bad luck? We will find out. 45 mil. Yeah, so this is feeling kind of sad. And it could well be 50 mil, yeah. It could be because of the affinity switch. So I'm wondering if... So he's going to target someone who is spirit affinity first. So if I put in as my lead somebody else, let's just try this quickly and see if this now works. Because it might be that you need different setups for different people. Like, so what do we do here? We open, don't use, and then use this. This is the setup that we used before. WIXWELL, we do this first and then this. The whole thing is you want the intercept being stacked up throughout your whole team, which is why it was capable of being done on auto. Apothecary, we are opening here, not using this. And then first priority is the speed boost. And Hellborn, we were doing, don't use this as your first choice. So I'm just seeing if we switch affinity here, if that fixes the turn count issue, because WIXWELL will put intercept on the leader. Oh, it's got even worse. Oh man. Okay, so definitely not just a straight it's coming in and doing what it was doing before. Let's just watch this play out and make sure that it's not something I've done in terms of my speed tune. So Apothecary is due to A1. We're meant to go with Anchorite A3 to get our buffs up. WIXWELL opens with Intercept. Now, normally I would put it on myself, but I'm going to throw it on to Fane, because she should be the first person targeted by the clan boss. We then use buff extension on Hellborn, whatever we want basically with our Fane. Although we did, that could be part of the problem actually. So Fane, weak hitting, not putting decreased attack on earlier might be part of the problem. So I should at this point now be able to auto and just see this playing through. We should be buff extending. We've added in the second shield, and now basically both shields are going to be being powered up. Whenever we do a WIXWELL A3, I think it's A2, sorry, he's going to be extending both shields. Bam, like that. So we'll see the shield grow. So yeah, I mean, the damage number might literally just be weak because of the affinity we're on. So that might be the main problem here, is that maybe this team on this affinity didn't 1-key before. I don't actually know for sure. But this was the most budget one that I had built. And obviously we've seen my strong one is still able to deal. But I'm just wondering, at what point do we lose shields on people? He's definitely not hitting through the shield at this point, but we're very early on. His damage is low. His damage really starts to ramp up at like turn 25 onwards, and then continues to grow after that. But the speed tune is working. That's the main thing. So the speed tune works. We're hitting our 2-for-1 comp, and we're not losing the buffs. That's one of the most important things. But clearly, on the auto, which is what we want to do with Clan Boss, if we can, just get in, get out, get our rewards on a daily basis. It's definitely weakened at the lower levels, and it might mean then you need to bring in like 2 people in a shield set, for example, so that the shields just I've got a higher base, and therefore you're growing from a higher base. Because the problem here is we're not hitting the turn limit. It's not that we won't be able to do enough damage, it's that we can't hit turn limit right now. So this all feels okay. So the speed tune is working fine. I'm going to let it play through for a while and see at what point we start to lose shields. Okay, so we are on now turn 74, and I've noticed that the first shield has been hit off a Fane. This is actually really good to watch this through and see what's failing. So basically what this is telling me is that Fane who is currently our stun target, is going to be the reason this run fails when it does fail. Actually, it feels like it's running better than the auto runs, but you can see the density of Fane's shield massively less than everyone else's. Hellborn Sprites is kind of not that great either. So what's going to happen here is because of the affinity, we're going to get beaten up early, especially because of the builds I've got on Fane and Hellborn Sprites. So, for example, if I had more defense in their builds, they would last longer than they're currently going to last. Potentially as well, if I had a second shield set in the run so that I stack my shields faster, because basically WIXWELL is doing a multiplier on the size of your shield. So the faster you get to a larger point, the longer the shield is going to last. We might still be able to make this budget team kind of do what we want it to do. So I'm going to make a couple of alterations. You can see now we're eating into Fane's actual shield by turn like 80 odd. And that's why we're not going to run to 1500 turns. I'm not sure that we'll run to 1500 turns anyway. In fact, I very much doubt it on affinity stuff because of the level of damage doing. So you see here, we've smacked through 2 people. And before long now, this run fails because we just don't have the speed tune running anymore. We're probably not going to be able to keep these buffs up. Although our buffs are kind of okay. But yeah, we just won't have the damage. Fane was really our only hard source of damage in this team. You can see now already we're whacking through the other shields as well. And yeah, pretty much, actually, we've smacked through these shields quite fast after this point. So yeah, 50 odd mil damage on this affinity just feels like it is what it is. Also not keeping decrease attack on because of this affinity specific, decrease attack on from Fane because of affinity is really affecting us as well here. You know, if this was a non-spirit affinity champ that was doing my decrease attack, that makes this more possible to go long as well. So some interesting stuff going on. Now, what I would do to try and tweak this, I'm just going to do it as a fast run. So the people that are going to take stun hits do need a good amount of defense. Yeah, we need more defense than we need attack. Than we need HP. You can see here, Fane's defense is not high at all. So if she just had, for example, more base defense, like a decent amount more there, would do the job. I don't really want to steal her damage, but I just want to show you for science purposes. I'm just going to give her an extra chunk of defense here. You know, you might try and just find more defensive stats in glyphs or whatever you can. Any way really to try and chunk more defense onto whoever's going to tank stuns. That will help you a lot. The initial shield caster needs to have a good amount of HP. So my shield set person here, we might switch these gloves out, for example, into HP gloves. I can try and get some that have got a similar amount of speed on, would be good. So we're chunking more HP for the base shield, which means we get to a better point earlier. HP here as well. So bam, just chunked a ton more HP onto this guy. Means my base shield's much better. What did I do to his speed though? 242. Just see if that kills my build in any way. It does. I need to be at least 245. Glyph the difference here for the purpose of this video. So 246 is fine. Okay, so we've done those 2 things. And then the other person that was tanking a lot of damage here, again, because of her defense number, is the Sprite. So we're trying to throw a defensive ring here as well. Okay, few changes, only relatively small changes, but I want to see what that does to an auto run on this affinity. So higher base shield, more defense on the 2 people that are weaker. And now, see that? We've just added like 15 million damage just by those tweaks. So we're getting much closer to that 1 key type of number. And we could probably push that a bit more again. But it does give you an idea that this build is not dead. It just needs slightly better levels of gear now. The other thing that we could do is go double shield set. So instead of bringing the Sprite in with reflex gear here, I think we could go for a second shield set and try and see if that makes the difference. Okay, so I've done that. I've thrown a second shield set on, so HP boots. We've still got our speed boots, HP chest. In this one now, we're still at the same sort of speed. I've gone up to 48k health here. And let's see what this looks like now. So 2 shield sets, which means we've got a much higher base shield to build off of, and everything else is exactly the same as before. The fact that it's ticking longer, okay, didn't really make a difference actually. Yeah, still 55. So it looks like on affinity stuff, this type of cheaper team, or the budget team, is just not quite making it through to the end. And again, it could be because I'm using a damage dealer who is negative affinity. You know, these guys might just break down. Let's see if I can join another clan quickly on the test server. Okay, we've got a fresh clan boss here. So against Void, with this same squad, same builds, I do 1 key on Void. So we are getting that 1 key away on Void clan boss. Still with that kind of like, but not consistently. Look at that. Didn't that time. Maybe now because I just switched Hellborn's build, and you know, Hellborn was relying a little bit on reflex gear to get some of those cooldowns, so that could mess me up. We can see here 100, 3 out of 4 so far, relatively consistent. Okay, so pretty consistent. 1 fail out of 5. I'm interested to see what affinity we get next, just to keep this test going. But yeah, only okay, we've gone back to Spirit again. Typical, but yeah, it looks like affinity stuff is just going to be a little bit dependent on how well you build your affinity tanks. And you know, now we're one key in Spirit as well. Oh, in fact, this is different, isn't it? Yeah, it was Magic before. So Spirit affinity actually not causing us problems with this group. So again, it depends on it's not consistent. Does definitely depend on your tanks and how they're built. But 2 key for sure, 1 key on Void fairly consistently. WIXWELL is not dead for clan boss, but he's not quite as easy as he was before the change. Now, the other thing I do want to look at here is, I mean, I guess I know the answer to this already, but Hydra, why can I not fight? Ah, no, I just joined a new clan. Okay, well, Hydra, we've got the change to the damage max on shields, which means that the kind of Hydra Yannicka or WIXWELL Yannicka vibe that we had going on is now going to be completely dead. So that WIXWELL Yannicka Emic team that's been doing the rounds, as far as I'm aware, it's going to be completely dead. And we're going to need to look at alternative solutions for clan boss for people that were running that team. I think just like the shield blowing up type of stuff, because you get a cap of shields, I can't see that it gets anywhere near any level of damage that people want to do, honestly. Like, it just, you're better off running Thor teams than you are running a Yannicka team going forward. Yannicka is back in the dirt as far as I know. So shame I can't test it right now, but yeah, we'll do some further work. I guess I'll do a completely separate Hydra deep dive video once my Hydra timers run out, like the timer thing, so that I can show you Trunda builds. I'll show you the Yannicka team and any of the other stuff that feels like they've nerfed. We'll just do a bit of playtesting. Probably that will come out tomorrow. So there you go, guys. WIXWELL still works for clan boss, but nowhere near as consistent. You can't go to the full 1500 turns anymore, and for the budget ones at least. But the stronger WIXWELL teams can still do the do. Hopefully that was helpful for people. I will post this build down below in case you do want to try and recreate it. A 2 key is still pretty solid for a budget team, in my opinion. But yeah, it is a bit of a nerf for clan boss as well. Anyway, there you go. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.